asking me to do this, I am picking up my camera and record a video. I don't know exactly what I am going to talk about, but I am going to let you lead me, Lord. Amen. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lena. Your girl is back at it again on YouTube. Finally, 8 months later. Y'all, I just had to be back on YouTube because when I tell you for the past almost 2 months, God has been giving me the confirmation and ringing it in my ear, putting it on my face over again to start posting on YouTube. Not only on YouTube, TikTok and Instagram again. And honestly, I was scared. I am still scared. Not was. I am scared. And there's a lot of fear in my mind. I am admitting it because that's the truth. Every time I think of picking up the camera to record again, something tells me no, or something tells me like, oh, I'm not good enough to be back on YouTube because for the past 5 years I've been on YouTube, I've never stayed consistent, I've never stayed disciplined. Like, this type of thing in my head, these type of thoughts in my head. But I've been in an isolation season for the past few months, and I think that God think that I'm ready to share my journey on YouTube. I'm not sure why exactly he's calling me to be back on YouTube because I've been so inconsistent like the past 5 years. Let's roll back for a second. So I started YouTube back in exactly my senior year in high school. Randomly, one day God put in my heart to start posting on YouTube. Like that time, like I did not fight with it. Actually, I did fight with it a little bit, but I end up giving in and be like, okay, what worst can happen? I'ma just start recording. I started, but throughout the years, I never stay consistent. And this season of my life, God has been showing me the reason why I've never stayed consistent is because I never actually sit down and I never actually sit down with my feelings and hear from a lot of things that have happened. And also, whenever I have a problem or something tragic that's going in my life, I stop posting. Like I hide from YouTube just because like in my head I feel like I have to be perfect to be posting on YouTube. I have shown like the good thing, but to be honest, God been telling me that you have to show the uglies too because it's not every day, it's not every season is not beautiful. Some season you're gonna be crying, you're gonna be like rolling on the floor literally. So I'm not like I say, I'm not sure exactly why God want me to share my journey again since I've been so inconsistent and not disciplined. But who am I to say no to God if he calls me to do something, you know? And in this season of my life, I am technically starting over again from scratch, because last year in November I broke up with my boyfriend because God had told me to do so. Honestly, like God told me to break up with this man for like month, but I was so in love in La La Land, I keep ignoring God to the point where God made it so loud and clear in my head, like I'm not supposed to be with this man. And it was really hard for me to break up with him. But at the end of the day, when after I broke up with him, like um was it a month later, a few weeks after, God has shown me that he has been cheated on me for like months, not only with one woman, with two women. But you know what, I am not going into depth with that. Like that that chapter in the book of my life was really a lesson, and I have learned a lot through that relationship. That was my first very serious relationship ever. I end up leaving Houston, the city that I moved in to do YouTube, to focus on myself. I left that city to be with that man, and God really taught me a lot of lessons there. That season showed me, that chapter of my life showed me that I did not have self-love. I don't have an identity. I don't have discipline. I don't have self-respect for myself. I don't have self-control. If you hear my voice is changing a little bit, it's because I don't want to cry. Like, I don't want to cry because I've been crying so much the past few months. Whew. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. But like I was saying, like, this season of my life, and this isolation season that I'm in, I asked God to reveal myself to me. And baby, when I tell you, God been showing me the ugly part of myself, He really has been showing the ugly part of myself, and I am trying to be my best self. I know I can because I have God with me, but it has been I had to learn that this season is going to be a process, even though I want everything to happen fast and instantly. But God keeps showing me that no, every time you want something fast, I show you I can give it to you, but at the end of the day, you're never able to handle it because I'm not patient with nothing. Literally, I'm not patient with anything. For example, when I was in Houston, a brief example I'm gonna give you guys. When I was in Houston, I was just like, I love my apartment, but I was just like, oh my God, I want a high-rise apartment, high-rise apartment, high-rise apartment. Boom. God gave it to me. The how God gave it to me, God gave it to me outside. To be honest, the more I think about that, the more I think that was a test, and I definitely failed that test. I definitely failed that test. God gave me the high-rise apartment. When I first started dating my ex, I told him, like, I went to visit him back in Indiana. I'm like, I'm not going to Indiana. I don't like Indiana. There's nothing for me in Indiana. I love Houston. Everybody that know me know that I love Houston. So, boom, I keep saying I want high-rise apartment, da 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 da. God gave me the high-rise apartment. Where did He give me the high-rise apartment? In Indiana. That's where I say that I don't have self-respect and self-control, because if I did stand firm on my words, I would have never disrespect myself like that to move to Indiana, knowing deeply in my heart that's not a place that I like or love or anything. But no, because I'm in love. And also, like, at that period of my time of my life, there was a lot happening, and I truly believe that I was trying to fill a void in my heart, and also like hide from the problem that I needed to work on. So boom, I jump and go to Indiana. That right there was a test, and I failed. And through that failing test, God has taught me a lot. Like I say, there's a lot that I need to work on in myself, and God pulled me out of that relationship at a really early stage, which I'm very grateful for, because a lot of people stay in a relationship because they have a man that is providing for them, that gives them a place to stay. But to me, that is not enough at all. That is not enough. And God shows me that He can give me better if I trust Him, and if I wait, if I trust the process. So um let's backtrack. Back in November, like I say, since July 2023, when I came to New York, when I came visit to New York, God gave me a dream to leave my ex-boyfriend, and I was just like, no, that's not that's not a confirmation. I'm not gonna do that. So I stay with him. I really love that man. I really loved him. Past tense. But so okay, let's leave that story alone. That's enough. I don't really want to talk much more about that. But just know that, like, when God gives you a confirmation, one thing before I change to the next subject that I want to say, when God give you a confirmation, don't ignore it. Do not ignore it, because there's certain thing that is happening, that is saying about you that you don't know, and God sees it all. So just trust him, and also like trust your intuition, because at the end of the day, we women, I can only speak for us, we be knowing, but sometimes we really be like just putting dirt on thing and just ignore everything. But I would say don't ever ignore sign from God, okay? Because baby, he will make you hear him at the end of the day if he wants you to really hear him. So that's that. Okay, so after I left him, I moved to New York. When I tell you that period of my life was so scary, just leaving him and moving to New York, because to be honest, I had already emptied my bank account. I wasn't really working. I stopped posting on social media because, wow, because I literally lost myself while I was with this man. Like, because I was pouring into him and he was not pouring into me. So it was just like a one-way thing. And it hurt to say that. And I had to realize that I was actually doing that after the relationship ended. God showed that to me. But I was scared to move back to New York because I'm not very close with my family. Yes, I have really good friends in New York. I'm like, I don't have a job, I don't have a car, I don't have money in my bank account. Like, I was scared. Like, when I tell you I was scared, and I overthink a lot, all the fear in my head, like all the thought in my head where I was battling. There's a video that I posted on YouTube. Like, I think like I was crying, and I was saying like how I, in that moment, I was having a lot of spiritual warfare. That's exactly when all that started. Like, if I can remember which video, I will go back and like post a clip for you guys. But that's exactly when all this started, to be honest. But backtrack, I decided to be like, you know what worse can happen? Like, I'm gonna surrender everything to God, because this where I'm at right now, I'm not comfortable, I'm not happy, I don't like who I am and where I was at in that moment back in November. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to New York. God will figure it out for me. God will show it to me. God will guide me. So I end up moving back to New York. I think it was November 29th or November 30th. So when I came, I stayed with a friend for a little bit. I am so grateful for my friend. I am so thankful for my friends. Like, these girls that I have in my life are really my sisters for real. Like, I will forever be grateful for them, because without them right now, to be honest, like I don't know where I will be, because I was technically homeless. Yes, I was homeless. Like I say, I didn't have a car, I didn't have a job, I didn't have a place to stay, because I'm not close with my family. I can't go back to my family house. But my friends really opened their arm and love me, care for me. I mean, they've always loved me, but they actually stand up with me in that hard season of my life. And when I tell like I'll always be grateful for this girl, the more that I think about it, the more I'm like, wow, like I actually have a family. Like I built my own little family with these girls, with the people that I have in my life that actually show me love and show me that they care for me. But so I end up staying with one of my friends for a few months, and almost after like 2 weeks being in New York, after 2 weeks being in New York, I started applying to job. I started applying to my old job. I was very close with my old manager. I reached out to her and she gave me my job back. I was so happy out because I didn't know if I was gonna get a job like right away. It was very fast. It was all God doing. So I'm staying with my friend now. I still don't have a car to get to work and stuff like that, and all of my friends are working. Some of them really live far from each other, but God made a way. Like every morning my manager was so, I'm so grateful for it, even though me and her do not talk at this moment, and I'm not going into that story. But she picked me up every morning to go to work. Every morning she picked me up to go to work with her, and also she helped me find a car that was her dad car, and she sold it to me. And after, I didn't even pay her right away. That's how like that's how good God is. Like I didn't even pay her right away. Like at first I gave her like a little portion of the money, and after 2 months later I gave her the rest. But when I tell you, like God showed up for me in that season of my life, he really showed up for me. And to think that at the beginning I was so scared to actually come back to New York because I think I wouldn't be able to do it on my own. Little did I know, like I'm not on my own. Like I serve a big God. Like of course he's gonna take care of me. That's one thing like I always have to remind myself when those little fear tries to spoke up on me. I have to remind myself like that I serve a big God. Like he promised to take care of me, and he chose me, he called me his. Like he's gonna take care of me. Like I just have to have faith, trust, and believe in him and surrender every time. And that's the decision I'm going to keep making over again. So by January, I moved here November 29. So by January 28, I had a car, y'all. Was it January 28? No, by Feb, I can't recall, but either by January 28 or beginning of February, yeah, I got a car, a BMW 2003 or 5, something like that. But it's a really good car. It was my manager dad, of course she sold it to me. So grateful. And oh, let's backtrack a little bit. So through all that was happening, y'all, I started getting closer and closer and closer to God, and I felt called to get baptized. So I went and get baptized January 7th of 2024, one of the best day of my life. Ooh, but after that after that baptism though, yo, it's like fire was throwing at me. Like things were crazy, and I broke down a lot, but each and every time God picked me back up over again. And I know he will continue on doing it. I just have to keep trusting him, keep believing in him, like I say. So I know like my story is all over the place. I'm just trying to not overshare too much, because I tend to overshare so much to the point like where it's bad. And that is something that I am currently working on right now in this season and this moment that I'm talking to you guys, because God been telling me to stay in silent. God been telling me to stay silent. Like I can't be out here oversharing my whole life like that. But this thing that I'm sharing is because like I feel comfortable in sharing them, and I'm okay with sharing them. Okay, so let's roll up back to April. Back in April, the friend that I was staying with, when I first moved in with her, I told her that by the end of April I will move out, I will find my own apartment and stuff like that. So she actually ended up giving me her apartment and moved out. I don't want to put her story out there, but she have a really good reason to move out. I'm so happy for my girls, for what she had to come for her. So happy for her. But she ended up giving me her apartment, and she actually gave me a few things that is in her apartment. When I tell you that, that is God work, because I remember back in March I started looking on Facebook Marketplace for apartment, and each time God keep telling me be patient, to not be anxious and stuff like that. I'm like, but April is almost here. I told her I'm gonna move out in April, but the end of April come, like I say, I talked to her and she decided to say, girl, when June come, I'm going to move out in June, and you can have the apartment, and I will leave my stuff for you until you go back and get your stuff in Houston. Yes, all of my stuff are still in storage in Houston. So that happened. If somebody tell me that's not God, then who? Literally, then who? Because like I was homeless, sleeping on her couch. Like, I'm grateful because she's such a quiet young lady. Me and her never had any problem. Like, she mind her business, I mind my own business. Like, I actually love living with her because she's so quiet. I don't be knowing if she's home or not most of the time. um so that happened. So it is currently June 19, and she moved out exactly June 1st or June 2nd. So I have this apartment by myself. I'm so grateful for. But that's where me fighting not posting on YouTube come from. Every time that God tells me to start posting on YouTube, I start feeling a little bit ungrateful for what I have and for where I am at. I keep I was not content with what I have. I have to be honest, because there's probably somebody out there that needs to hear that. Oh, whatever. Oh, if I'm just not whatever. Let me rephrase that. The reason why I'm saying that is because I know there's probably somebody out there that need to hear that, or something like that. Yes, I wasn't grateful for the place that I have. It's not like I keep judging the apartment. I keep judging myself, and I keep judging where I am at right now. Every time for me to pick up the camera and record, I keep saying like, oh my god, what is people going to say? Like, I was just living in a high-rise apartment, and before that I was in a beautiful apartment in Houston, and now I'm living in this small little apartment, blah blah blah. I had to pray over that mindset so much, because I am grateful for the place, but when it comes for me to be my true authentic self, I'm like, no, I don't want to show people that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to, like, oh, people gonna, what I keep worrying about what people going to think of where I am at right now. But at the same time, God keep telling me, like, why should you worry about what people think if I'm the one giving you this thing, if I'm the one placing you where you at right now? Why are you worrying so much of what they think of you? That shouldn't matter. And I pray over that over again. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it be popping up in my head. Why, when this thought pop up in my head, I go in prayer, because I don't want to be that person that is not content with where they at. Yes, I'm not gonna say I'm comfortable. I'm not gonna say I'm super in love with where I am at. I am grateful for where I'm at. I'm content with what I have right now, but I know that's not what God have in store for me. And if starting over mean starting over where I'm at right now, and that's what God want me to do, that's exactly what I am going to that's exactly what I am going to do. Because yes, I have a setback, but God keep reminding me setback is temporary. It's not permanent. This is just for a little moment. So for however long God's gonna keep me where I'm at right now to work in me, I'm gonna pick up my camera and show people my journey, because that's what God wants me to do. So I'm going to share my journey with the world. Who knows, somebody might be going through something similar and see my video and feel called to do what they're actually supposed to do. And that's one of the reason why, like, I want to keep posting on YouTube. And that was one of my reason why to start posting on YouTube period since 5 years ago, because I want to put a smile on people's face, because I want people to learn something from my video, like sometime when I post, or most of the time when I post, whatever the case is. So that is to say that I am starting over again. So that's to say also I am back in New York for a little bit, not for too long, because I know God is not going to keep me here forever. He already tell me that. He already told me that. He haven't told me where he want me to be back yet. To be to He haven't tell me where to go yet, but I just know New York is very temporary for me, because he had told me that. So with that being said, that is me starting over. Yes, I am starting over. It scares me, the thought of starting over, because I really have nothing. Nothing. When I tell you nothing, like, I don't have a career, because I tried the going to school thing, y'all. That's not what God called me to do. Like, I try going to school. I try it. It's just not for me, and that's something I'm still learning to make peace with. But I am figuring it out. God and I are figuring it out. So I am going to take you guys along this journey of me starting over, of me trying to figuring out, of this glow up. Yes, because we're gonna have this glow up. Wait for it, wait for it. So I am going to share all that, all the uglies, all the beautiful with you guys. So I am going to start vlogging again, so stay tuned for the vlog. Y'all definitely going to see this video before I post any vlog. Yeah, when I tell you guys, at first I was just like, I don't know how I don't know what my first video should be. I don't know what to talk about. But this morning, I woke up. God says, just pick up the camera and talk. Just pick up the camera and talk. And that's exactly what I did. I'm still in my PJs. It is currently 9:04. I was supposed to be at the gym already. So I'm still in my PJ. My makeup is not done. My hair is not done. I'm just presenting myself as I am. And that's exactly what God told me to do this morning. That's exactly what I'm doing. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's get into it. There's a lot to say, but I don't want to overshare too much, and I don't want my first video to be that long. So let's just say this journey of starting over, I am going to do it with you guys by sharing it with you. I'm not sure what my schedule going to be on YouTube yet, but I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to do the best that I can. So yes, yes, I'm very excited. I am happy for me to have the strength and courage by the glory of God, because I wouldn't be I wouldn't be able to do this without God picking up the camera, because I used to feel ashamed, I used to feel guilty, I used to feel a lot of things. But God gave me the strength and courage to pick up the camera again. This time I'm not doing it alone, because the past 5 years I was doing it all alone, blah blah blah. But now I am putting God in the forefront. Like, God is going before me, you know, all this type of thing. So I don't have much to say anymore, guys, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got something from this video. If it's even, I can't even talk anymore. You see, that's how you know, like, it's time. I'm joking. But even if it's just one word of confirmation that you got from this video, I am happy. Or even if it's just my beautiful self putting a smile on your face, I am happy. So stay tuned for what is to come. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.